12 months.
Mike has won a trip to the Bahamas for 12 months. He's gonna be.
Can I take a 12-month vacation?
He's gonna be off for a year. Hi, my name's Micah, and I'm off for a year on a cruise that I paid for with $500 in Kmart gift cards. $500 in gift cards from Kmart, man.
Kmart gift card. Kmart's not even open anymore.
Marcus is first. I don't always pay with Kmart gift cards, but when I do, it's from scammers on phone calls. So this is going to be a boring video today because, what's up TCRS? We're going to be doing a Touch IC. There's not really much that came in. We had a 6S Plus earlier that was water damage, but it ended up being fairly minor. Two VCC main caps were highly corroded, and the VCC main line by the front camera was corroded. What's going on, Pretty? And replace that stuff, and the phone works. Touch ID doesn't work. I replaced the chip for Touch ID, but it's still not working, so I tried. Well, that's good that you haven't heard from your buddy Joe. I hear he has the biggest one though, TCRS.
Big wing by.
Big wing by. What's up, Lynn? Big wang lie. Preps the chemo. Yep. Amy's here for the cancer. I don't always come for the cancer, but when I do, I come for the cancer. 60% of the time, there's cancer every time. Gotta go to the pop stuff. I said, how long are you gonna stream? Maybe an hour or two, tops. Probably tops 2 hours, because I'm gonna leave at 7. Because I don't give a damn.
Chris don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn.
Damn.
On a scale of 1 to damn, I don't give nuts. We'll talk about the MacBook that I diagnosed the other day, since I forgot to the last stream. Also got some stuff to talk about with a guy contacted me about a website that has to do with tech sales. I told him I'd give a mention to it in chat here. Let me see if he ever sent the specifics. Gmail is the way to go. You gotta go. Gmail. He still hasn't sent anything. Let's see. Alright. So the website that they run is called repairtraders.com. $7.
Huh?
7?
Linda tried to tell me you closed at 5, and I was like panicking. I wasn't
And put that. Do you have your watch with you?
Yeah.
All right, put that on for me.
Oh.
Chris who? Mike Jones.
I didn't even know they made tempered glass for these things.
Yes, sir. Make sure it's nice and spotless.
Should I leave that bumper off for a while, Chris?
No, should be okay. We got a new one if you want a new one.
A new bumper?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I got 4 at home.
Okay.
Otherwise I would. Now does he have to take that bumper off to put that on there?
I don't think
No.
so. This thing is itty bitty.
Shouldn't have to. 8200040. What board is that? It's an iPhone 7.
Y'all need a woman in here.
She's here every now and then. A 6 Plus. 6 Plus.
Needs a lady's touch in here.
Are you saying it's dirty?
I'm saying.
We don't
Y'all
appreciate
see
that.
what I mean?
We don't appreciate that.
I didn't say it was dirty. I said you need an organizer.
You said woman's touch though.
You know, like frilly things on the wall. Like, you know. I'm messing.
Frilly things? No, I'm good on frilly things.
I bet you know where everything is, don't you?
You
No.
know where half things are.
Micah hides half the stuff around
I
here.
do. Like a squirrel.
He is a squirrel.
Just start hiding things.
He hides his nuts.
It's nuts. Do you keep them in a Tic Tac container?
Yes, he does.
I knew it. I knew it.
That's where every man keeps his nuts. You know why? Because they're refreshing.
Oh, that was a good one. That was good.
How's your home entertainment center doing? Doing all right?
It's doing good.
Well, that's good. No problems yet?
I haven't watched it. I went to Ohio to see my brother.
Oh, okay.
I just got back Sunday night. Monday was my first day at work, and I had to work 11 hours.
Dang, that's what you get for taking vacation for 17 years.
Chris.
I know.
Mike is taking a year-long vacation.
Yep. I'm going to Bahamas for 12 months.
Are you really?
No.
Oh.
What are you christening me for?
I don't know how this fits on here.
What do you mean how it fits on me?
It's like way smaller than the actual.
Let me see it. It's supposed to be for the 42 mil. This is the 42 mil, correct?
Don't. I think that real good. See.
Goes just like that.
Just like that?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright.
It's the if you look where the actual screen is, that's all it's covering.
Oh, okay.
The outside's just the glass edge.
Okay, well then I'll leave the screen on this and put it on.
Dang, Micah.
Okay, I don't get your shirt. Explain it to me.
Hey, you guys
Chris
take
who?
for my lamp.
I know Chris.
There's nothing else you need to understand. It's just Chris who. It's a restaurant in Myrtle Beach. Chris who? It's like Mike Jones. You remember Mike Jones? He was a rapper. And his catchphrase, he would say his name, and then he would say who. And everybody would be like, Mike Jones. It's kind of stupid. But funny at the same time.
Sure I paid for this and everything?
Yes.
Okay.
To make sure it's bubble free, sir?
It looks bolt free.
Is it a bubble free zone?
It looks bolt free.
You might want to wipe that off, get your fingerprints off of
The
it.
fingerprints are on there, Chris.
Yeah.
Gotta make it look
That
presentable.
DNA evidence.
Gotta make it look presentable.
Figure out how to
So
turn it
how's
off.
your friend? Your friend's still down there in lockup?
Yep.
Nobody bailed him out?
No, they bailed him out. His dad did.
Has he been to visit you?
Nope. Hope he doesn't.
Alright.
I don't need that in my life.
There you go, ma'am.
Well, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So that don't cover the whole screen?
The whole screen, no.
Nope. They can't because the edges are curved.
Well,
Can't make curved glass that sticks well.
you can't make her but cute from battery.
No, it doesn't look. It always bubbles up when they try to do it. They tried to do it with the Samsungs. They don't work at all.
Yeah.
We need to like do something else in here. Like we need to make room for me to do tattoos.
Actually, there's a tattoo place right across the street.
Right back there. Right across the street, yeah.
Solid gold.
Solid gold. All right, Chris. Thank you so
No
much.
problem.
Mike enjoy the Bahamas.
I will.
See ya.
Dreams.
Bye bye.
Micah, you ain't going to no Bahamas.
I'm going for 12 months, Chris. do I want?
Let's see. Just got a Navi Plus. First and second attempt stuck in DFU waiting for iPad. No error. Never gets to recovery mode. NAND voltage is good. Any advice? It's supposed to be in DFU mode when you boot it up. If you've written it correctly. So when you try to restore it out of DFU, it does nothing. What's the underfill removal tool that I use? I use tweezers, and I also use this little thin blade that has a hook on it. That is, you can order it. I don't know if that's the company or not. Jabe. They come in this little pack here. So there's a pack of a bunch of different tips that go on this little X-Acto blade kind of holder, and you use a little bit of heat and just kind of run that across the underfill and it'll clean it out. Not the second time. You probably need to reball the NAND again. Your reball is probably not consistent. Let's scroll back up. Have you done any amp measurement on Tiana LG screens? See if they are drawing too much, since they're seeing lots of phones with either chestnut or backlight issues. I haven't done any testing on those to see what kind of amp draw they have for the aftermarket screens, but I could see some of them having a slightly higher amp draw. Now, does that necessarily mean that the phone's going to mess up because of it? I don't know. I can't say that I've seen any consistency with an aftermarket screen causing issues, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I just haven't seen it. So in my personal experience, I don't know of any, but we also don't use copy screens much. The only screens we offer as a copy are the iPhone 7, and we offer it as a secondary choice to the original refurb screens that we offer. Just because the original refurbs are more expensive right now, we give people an option to use an aftermarket screen, and majority of people don't use it, but some do. Let's clean all this up. What size on the pre-mades? For the small ones I use 45s, and for the large ones I use 60s. So small pads 45 mils, or 0.5 mil, 45 mil, excuse me, 0.45 mil, and then the large ones you use 0.6. What's your price for aftermarket and refurb for 7 and 7 Plus? Aftermarket we charge $125 and $150 for the 7 and 7 Plus, and for the refurbs we charge $160, $180 for the 7 7 Plus. And that's just mostly based off the cost of the screen. The aftermarkets are considerably cheaper, but at the same time we don't mark them below what it would cost for the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus. Kind of defeats the purpose of it. What's up, UK Rules? Chris is going Atari Retro 8-bit. Am I going 8-bit? Is the stream having issues? Plan B, I'm not sure if it really matters. The only problem is you have to make sure that the pad is tall enough that you get a good solid connection. There's actually these little strips that I've thought about purchasing for this. You can buy these little strips that have the connections for all the points on both sides, So it's got through holes. So you solder it to the board, and then you fold it, and you solder the NAND to the backside, and then you just tape it down, and it eliminates any reballing issues. But I haven't done it yet, but I might buy some of them just to test them out and see if it really has any space issues. I don't think it does. Plus, it makes it a little easier to put the NAND back on. I'm not doing anything that makes it 8-bit sound. Chuck's over here having some weird shit. Beep 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 beep. Beep. Beep 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 beep. Hold on, Plan B. I'll show you a picture of them. Alright, I'm gonna switch the image over here for a second. So this is what I'm talking about. They make these little strips that you can solder the NAND and solder the board, and then you put a piece of tape over the NAND side, and then you fold the strip down and then tape the NAND down. And it makes it easier so you don't have any problems. So like you'd solder this side on and then put a piece of Kapton tape over this so it can't short on anything, and then you'll fold this down with the NAND soldered to the other side, and then you'll tape the whole thing down. I'm not sure if that would, I don't know, be acceptable maybe, but who gives a shit? I think they're pretty cool. That's not how that song goes at all.
It is now, because I can see.
Shrooms, bro. Shrooms.
Who's on shrooms?
I don't know. Somebody is. Where do you get them? That is a good question.
Shit.
I don't know. Google search iPhone NAND chip Flex. And then see if there's any for sale sites.
So you find cow shit.
I have an iPad 2 from hell. Can't decide if it's charge port or battery or some other issue. I'm not smart like you guys. I'm sure you can figure it out. What's it doing? What are the symptoms? I can see clearly now the rain is cool. And what kind of iPad is it? Is it an iPad 2, Air 2, Mini 2, iPad, what? Oh, a cow patty from what I've heard. What?
Yeah, me too. I thought that's where shrooms came from, but you guys weren't talking
Oh,
about
shrooms, yeah. Yeah, on the underside of cow shit, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, but you can't shine your flashlight right away, or I heard like it kills them or something. Kills the fungi. If you shine the light, you have to do it at night.
Where did I get my UV light? I made it. I bought one of those cheap ones on eBay, and then I soldered 2 wires to it. It's actually really shitty. I would not recommend it. They make some high wattage ones that you can buy on eBay for like $10. I'm probably going to get one because it's really annoying. This thing takes forever to cure any type of UV. Micah, will you do something?
I'm doing shit right now, Chris. Why don't you do something productive with your life instead of get on the internet with your internet friends, talk about internet friend stuff.
Sweet. You're not funny, Micah. You're funny looking, but not funny.
I'm sorry, sir. We don't build pole barns here.
That's probably the best inside joke ever. I kind of want to tell the internet because they can be in on the inside joke with us. I lost my fucking wire. There it is. Alright, so I gotta tell everybody so y'all are on the inside joke. So a guy came in the other day and walked in and he just stood there and Mike was like, "Can I help you?" And he's like, "Can I speak to the hiring manager? Like we're some fucking formal organization. There's two of us here jacking off." And literally. And the guy's like, "Can I speak to the hiring manager?" I was like, "Well, I'm the owner." I was like, "What can I do for you?" He's like, "I was just looking to see if you were hiring anybody right now." I was like, "No, unfortunately, we're not hiring anybody right now."
Oh, that's one of those fucking RCA bitches.
And he's like, "Oh, okay." And he goes to leave, and he walks out the door, and Micah and I were kind of looking at him, and like he was dressed up like almost like an Amish guy. And after he left, Micah goes, "We don't build pole barns here, sir." So that was the inside joke the rest of the day.
Sorry, sir. We don't build.
Sorry, sir. We don't build pole barns. Yeah, I wouldn't have any clue how your 1968 Mopar editions, whatever the fuck you said.
Yeah, from that one, I forget the name.
Was it Sex Drive?
Yeah, Sex Drive. That was it.
Hand me the Exacto.
Alright, hold on. I'm trying to find out where the chart. Oh, there it is.
Chuck said he's waiting for you to scream out, "You're not my real dad," and storm out of the room. Yeah, I can check it out. Ticketing system? Is it going to be like a all-in-one ticketing system, or is it just going to be for making up tickets for repairs? We've been looking at Repair Shopper, but I'm definitely open to looking at different things.
Repair Chopper.
Repair Chopper. Why do you keep breaking the tips off my fucking...
That one's broken for a long time ago. It broke like that at Fleetland.
No, it wasn't. I've already replaced it since we've been back here.
No.
Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
I'm putting a new tip on it just so you know. So you don't think I'm lying to you. It's been raining a lot.
No, it hasn't. Today's like the first time it's rained in...
I don't know, but today it's rained a lot.
Yeah. I need to go home and check my garage and make sure it's not flooding in my garage.
All in one, have to integrate POS and inventory system. Also, wireless hospital. QuickBooks integration is very nice. Just a suggestion, if possible. First would not power up, connected to the charger would boot. So it boot loop. Put in restore mode would not restore. Battery simple, no charge, and won't go into restore mode again. It should go into restore mode. Is your home button making contact with the charging port? Because it has to make contact with those two little spikes. One side's ground and the other side is the signal line. Well, that's Repair Shopper has integration with QuickBooks. They said that it'll put in all the customer information and payments and everything they've done. So that's something we're looking for as a company. It makes it easier at the end of the year when it comes time to do all the book work. We don't have to go through and do anything. We literally just load up QuickBooks, look at our expenses, look at our income, and we're done with it out the door. No more fuss. So that is definitely something as a business that I am looking for. Alrighty, so we got our wire jumped. Watch your cornhole. What? Your friend is here. Oh, big Black Dick Joe's here?
Big Dan T.
Damn. I think Big Black Dick Joe and TCRS need to make up. Brush fire? Jesus Christ, man. Seems like every fucking day you got some big ass event going on. Big Black Dick Joe is big again. Bobby, iPad 2, so if it's a regular 2, they don't have any, like, they don't have a TriStar. So either your battery's fucked up or your charge port's fucked up, and based on what you're saying, if it won't go into recovery, I would say your charge port's fucked up. You can be friends. I hope everybody can be friends. The internet is not a serious place to get pissed off about. He needs to say sorry. TCRS has his reasons for his things that he does. I don't fault him. We deal with a lot of bullshit. Especially being moderators on other channels. There's a lot of shit you gotta deal with. You do reballs with your bare black hands? Damn. Why do they have to be bare and black? Why can't they be supple and covered? Alright, Tim, be careful. Enjoy your time watching brush fires. Don't get caught and accused of setting the fire. I do reballing with my dick, that is correct.
What?
I do reballing with my balls. That's how close my balls are to my reballs. Two balls reball. That's a good option. I'd hate to be a uniball reballer. That means that you've had some tragedy in your life. Surface 5S rapid battery discharge changed due to software restored, still happening. Okay, so rapid discharge can sometimes have something to do with YouTube, but what you're going to need to do is hook up your phone to a DC power supply. You need to have a known good 5S, and you need to have your 5S, and you're going to need to look at the amp draw while the phone is off, and you're going to need to look at the amp draw while the phone is on. When the phone is on and the screen is off, the phone should go into a sort of sleep mode where it pulls very, very low amperage, like 20 milliamps. If it's pulling more than 20 milliamps, there's something wrong. We had an iPhone 6S here that had the same problem. It had rapid battery drain. We thought it maybe would be TriStar. We replaced TriStar. Nothing changed. So I started testing with the DC power supply and noticed that when the phone was off and the screen was off, we had a milliamp draw of about 210 milliamps, which is it's considerably higher than what it should be. It's 1,000% higher, pretty much. So we just started unplugging stuff to see maybe if we could figure out where it was coming from, and it turned out that the short was in the force touch. So if you unplugged the home button cable, which had the force touch in it, the short would go away. So we did some investigating and looked into the touch connector, and inside the force touch ID connector, there was a really small piece of metal that had gotten flipped out whenever the last company that worked on it did a screen change, and it landed in the connector and was shorting two pins together and was causing the amp draw. Chris Long, do you have any spare Mason IC stencils? Yeah, I've got the non-square ones. Square allows enough paste to make a ball that turns liquid. Yeah, the square ball also, or the square hole, whenever it melts, it pulls away from the edge of the stencil. Alright, so we're missing our ground pad here,
gotcha.
but that's okay. That's a tied ground throughout the chip. We did one yesterday, same way, that worked perfectly fine. The paste we use, which is linked in the bottom there, is
Keyboard. Yeah, we tried that.
MG Chemicals.
Yeah.
There's the number right there.
Yeah, we tried that already. We couldn't get to it. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yep. Yeah, yeah, we did. It's not a problem. Alright, bye.
Sewing yard, yeah, the power supply can tell you a lot about what's going on with the phone. Honestly, I've gotten so used to looking at the amp draw on the power supply, it can pretty much tell you what's going on with the phone without really having to do much diagnostic work. Like, when I place this chip, sometimes these chips, if they're not placed properly, will get a short under them, and I can see that short as soon as the phone starts to boot up. Like, I don't even have to see the screen, I can tell by just looking at the amp draw. And you can do that too, it just takes some time to recognize what looks normal on your DC power supply versus what is normal. That's something that just, it comes with time and being involved with them. Are square stencils still available? Yes, you can buy them at unionrepair.com. They come from China, so the shipping is a little expensive. It's about $20, and then the stencil is about $20, but if you do one Touch IC replacement, you paid for your stencils. So it will pay for itself very quickly. iPad 4 stuck in DFU restore error 4014. Is the NAND broken or TriStar? 4014 means that the computer can't talk to the device, so I would check TriStar first. Make them with a plotter? I'm sure you could. I mean, if you wanted to make your own stencils, there's nothing stopping you. I don't have anything to do it with, though. So it's not something I'm going to be doing. But if somebody has access to some type of metal cutting or press that can do it for them, even better. Ghost touching usually is caused by Mason. Square stencils for $30, that's cheap. Freddie, do they have a store? If the battery is completely dead, will it still go into DFU restore mode? On an iPad, yes. Or any device, really. In DFU mode, the iPads or iPhones or iPods or whatever, they run off the USB power. They don't rely on the battery at all. Alright, so look down the chip. Looks fairly flush. Now let's do some testing. No problem, Ozman. Most of the time with Cumulus, we don't see any ghost touching. With Cumulus, we normally see either completely dead touch, no touch at all, or we see wide sections of the screen. Like we're talking like a fifth of the screen not working. Now Mason can cause small sections not to work, but not full sections. Joe, you're cool, man. You don't have to donate anything, even if you are working in the cotton field, man. We appreciate your work out in the cotton field.
What?
That's what he said.
Oh,
He's been working in the cotton field.
okay.
We appreciate you watching. You don't have to donate anything if you don't want to. Battery charge in DFU. Yes, the battery will charge in DFU mode, Bobby. Actually, that's how Mark and Jessa test some of theirs out. If they can't get them to turn on, they charge them in DFU mode. Let's see. Taking a 2008 MacBook Pro all the way to El Capitan. Well, have fun with that, Anthony. What do Mason and Cumulus do? So Mason and Cumulus, from what we don't know exactly, but from what we can hypothesize is Cumulus and Mason are both touch input chips. Mason talks directly from the screen. When you touch the screen, the inputs from that go directly to Mason. Mason takes that information, it syncs it with the LCD panel, and then it sends the touch information to Cumulus, which we suspect Cumulus does the talking between the CPU and Cumulus, so that the phone knows exactly like where you're touching in relation to the applications that are open and what it should be displaying on the screen. So we think Mason is kind of the input touch controller, and then Cumulus is like the back end processing unit that kind of does the, okay, CPU, here's what's being touched, here's what's on your screen, make these things work together. IC did not move at all. What's your airspeed? I run fairly low, so my station goes from 0 to 100 and I have it set to 45. You do the 419 scams through 419 scams. What? 5S on the table, no boots. Power supply draws 20 milliamps, 4 volts, no further investigation. Maurice, 20 milliamp draw. That's DFU mode, is it not? I think it is. See if the phone's in DFU. If you're working in a cotton field, Joe, then I can guarantee you got some blood, sweat, and tears out there, man. No problem, Roger. But it goes to 11. Alright, let's see if this phone turns on and looks normal. So I'm going to watch my amp draw. Looks fine. We should have image. We do have image. The amp draw right now is okay. We'll see if our touch is good. Okay, Tony. I appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
What are you doing, Ken? Not seen by the PC and iTunes. No USB sound that is detected. Alright, so 20 milliamp draw is usually nothing that I've seen. Big dick, no chick. Probably because you have a big dick, man. Some girls don't like big dicks. It scares them. I mean, can you imagine?
Well, is it big as in how? Like length or girth?
Yeah, is it girthy or is it long?
Is it if you painted it silver and twist at the end, would it be a kickstand? That might be your problem.
I'm trying to think. 20 milliamp draw is almost like nothing. On my power supply, if it's at 20 milliamps, it's just normal draw from the LED on this little thing here. Wow, sweet. It's on the setup screen here. I don't have a home button to test with. Well, I can test the screen by going back and forth here. Touch looks okay. I don't know how I can get through this setup without a home button. Press home button to open. Okay, I'll do that. I can't even do like emergency phone call. What?
This fucking piece of shit.
What's wrong with it?
Power button's busted. Charger. Power
I don't even fucking work with those things. Touch seems okay. I can drag the screen anywhere and hold it, and it doesn't fuck up. So, I'm gonna say that we're good. I don't have any way to get into this thing. I don't have a home button plugged into this, nor do I have a flex on it. Oh, let's see. Finish video later. Gotta go back to work. Thanks. See you, Tim. The 2X iPad Air 2s that won't come back out of DFU after NAND edit. I only have one housing. I noticed the battery has a small piercing. Ordered a new one, but bad battery. Maybe stopping recovery mode. Maybe. When they go to restore, I think the battery has to be good. Your mom shit herself when she walked into the bathroom last week.
Every mom shits herself when they give birth to you.
Thought there was a snake in there. Well, that's not good. I don't think you should have your dick out on the floor. Brown Weiss. Okay, I'll check it out, Brian. I'm so sorry, man. I had a bad day after my master whipped me 50 times. And you worked your damn ass off. Fucking cotton.
Fucking cotton.
You were fucking cotton, or you were picking cotton?
He was plowing it deep.
He's deep plowing that cotton. Sometimes you gotta get deep in that cotton, boys. iPhone 5 as well was drawing 40 milliamps. Found U2 was shorter. Replaced U2. Now phone draws 0.1 to 0.3 when it tries to turn on. Ozman, have you made sure that your TriStar placement and your TriStar revision was correct? Is it an iPhone 5 or 5S or 5C? If it's an iPhone 5, what YouTube chip revision did you use? Did you use a 1610 A1, A2, or A3? Or did you use a different revision? Maybe so, Plan B. So the iPad Airs, though, that you did the NAND on, you have to make sure that you, when you do that, that you reprogram with a new iPad Air 2. I don't think you can modify the NAND without changing out the Wi-Fi IC. I don't think the Wi-Fi IC will work. Okay, iPhone 5 uses 16808. Okay, that's good. So you use the right model IC then. Some people use the 1610s on the iPhone 5 and that doesn't work. Are you 100% sure that you didn't get the CPU too hot or your placement's correct on the iPhone 5? Do I take Western Union money transfers? No, I do not. I do not take Western Union money transfers.
Only if you're from South Africa.
Yeah, you have to be from South Africa and be a prince that's going to give me $5 million. And all I have to do is give you $10,000 cash to secure that bond. Alright, so let's put our sticker back on. You're from Uganda? Well, then I trust you fully. Tell me where to go and I will be there. Do you need it in Kmart gift cards? That's how the IRS told me to pay my IRS overdue taxes. Pay in Kmart gift cards.
Hey, I looked at Grandma's tablet just now. The power button's messed up on it. I could fix it if I had the...
I have to pay in 2 million goats? I can't afford that.
Okay. Alright, so you want another tablet or...
Send you $50 and just send me $1 million? Oh my god. Fucking rich motherfucker.
Okay, yeah, it's just power button.
Plan B, yeah, look into that because I've seen, I know the iPad Air 2s when you transfer them from 3G over to Wi-Fi, you have to change the Ethernet or the Wi-Fi chip anyway. You take Bitcoin or Ether.
Alright, well, I'll talk to you later.
His uncle died and now he has lots of money. I understand that.
Bye.
I'll have more money than Lewis. I don't know if anybody can have more money than Lewis.
Lewis doesn't have a woman, and Lewis, well, he does live in New York, so he doesn't pay a lot probably where he lives, but he doesn't have a woman. So he probably has a lot of money.
Plan B, you might be alright then. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. Try it out and see. I don't think they'll boot without the U2 IC on there. Lord Ambassador Yubawala Wahili. That sounds pretty fucking legit. Yeah, I mean, if it could get any more trustworthy, I don't think it's possible.
That sounds like loyalty.
Anything for a friend, but you don't have AIDS. Well, I don't want AIDS. You have orange AIDS? Is that like Kool-Aid? Orange Aid?
Orange Aid. Doesn't sound right to me. Amy's pushing that little button. She's like, I'll make it happen. She'll lay down the hammer. The hammer of Thor. Yeah, the iPad Air 2 has to have a different Wi-Fi, I see. No problem. No, Joe, we enjoy some banter every now and then, but eventually it gets to the point where it's just kind of pointless. Thanks for the advice. No problem, Maurice. Alright, so we're going to put this one back together. And then I'm going to bring that MacBook up here so we can kind of show you all how to diagnose the fault that it was having. What the fuck just happened? Is somebody banned? Okay, I didn't think he got banned. Plan B is still here. What's up, Handy? Yeah, I think somebody clicked the wrong thing or something. What's my worst rabbit hole fix? It had to be... Well, I didn't even fix it. It had to be the iPad Air 2 that wouldn't charge. I pretty much replaced everything in the circuit that I could replace. I replaced the TriStar chip. I replaced the charging... Well, I replaced TriStar 3 times. I replaced the charging port 3 times. I replaced the battery gates. I replaced fucking random MOSFETs. I replaced diodes, coils. I checked continuity from everything to see what was going on. The only thing that I could think was PMIC itself was faulty, or it was having some issue with the battery. Because what would happen would be is if the iPad was off, it would charge. As soon as we turned it on, it would stop charging. TriStar would recognize when the cable was plugged in because it would pulse it would pulse the voltage, and it would also say on screen that it was charging. But then the issue that it was having even though it said it was charging, the voltage from PMIC was not being boosted up like it should be for that battery to actually charge. You can see. I relocated on the square 3 doors down from 440. The cigar shop's next to us and Zebra Graphics. Alright. No problem. I think that's the guy for the unlock stuff. Let's see. Did you replace the battery? We checked the battery. We checked actually 3 good batteries. So they thought maybe the battery was faulty. That's what everybody kept telling me. So I used a known good charging iPad Air 2 and plugged it in. It still wouldn't charge. So it had most likely PMIC issues. That would be my guess, at least. Can you help him out when he comes in here?
Hey there.
Hey, do you need to see the physically to unlock it, or you just need IE?
Most likely just I am EI numbers.
Yeah, if you could do it fast, that would be great, man.
Yeah, it takes about 4 days for it to happen, though. We've had
That's
someone else.
In most cases, pretty much.
Yeah.
Or it could be e-tournament, right? Depends.
I mean, it could be faster. It could, it could take up to 4 days. It just depends. What we got here?
That's 7.
iPhone 7.
This is what the.
What service were these with?
Sprint.
This is a
Sprint?
It's 55 is what I quoted him.
Per phone or?
Yes.
Okay, got a question, guys. If the 7 home button is cracked, there's no way you can fix that.
If we replace it,
You can't even replace the
you can't even
sevens.
replace. No, yeah, that's right. You can't replace the sevens. No, Apple's got to do it.
That's why I sent it back to you.
Hey, please.
What?
Which one?
It has to be clean. Yeah.
This one?
Yep. Clean on me, yeah. It said that it was clean, so it should go through.
Okay.
That's the non-clean IMEI services are much more expensive. So
Yeah, I mean, it's clean out of that, so let's see, like, lost.
yeah, I didn't see anything reported lost or owed payments or anything.
I'm not sure if it's a good question. I know you are in business, I'm in business, but I'm not repeating like you are professional. I do this once in a while. But I use unlocklever.com, and it was like, for me, disaster, man. It took 14 days, and then after that I said, Frank, we cannot unlock it. It's not this one, just different.
Some
The other
companies
phone-
vary.
The other service I use is TechMajestics or TechMajesty.com, something like that. You ever heard of it?
No, we've used Blowfish unlocks before, but
Wallfish?
yeah,
Is that what you all using it now, or something?
we use different services for each one. It just depends on which phone and which is cheaper. Blowfish is fairly cheap on some stuff, but some stuff they're expensive on too.
Is it fairly rigid, not like a scam, Because some
The people that we pay can't really scam us. We pay through PayPal, so if they want to scam us, they're not going to get any money.
Fish.com, so what you said.
They use PayPal payments. Let's see. My MacBook time.
This one is the same as the one that you can use in the United States.
This one's been done. Yeah, it's possible.
This one is the one that's
Command notes, charging ports.
iCloud, no. No, unless it's a or a iPad with 3G.
Yeah, most of the unlocks for iCloud stuff are over $200 from what I've seen. Some of them I've heard 160.
Do you ever know any website that can do that, please?
They used to be able to do Wi-Fi only devices, but
Right now,
they can't do them right now. Well, they can, but it's expensive.
250 is what the reason comparison.
I think what I saw was like $220, but somebody said there was a place that did them for 160. So,
Do you know what check who might do that, please? No.
I don't
I
mess.
wanna-
I don't mess with that stuff.
Yeah, I got one phone, bought it online, and they told me clean AME. I check it out, and I opened the claim on eBay, and then I looked at it has 0 rating. It was kind of once in a while you don't get out that rating.
Yep.
And you buy it off eBay.
I got plenty of iCloud locked iPhone 6 boards. We keep plenty of them around for parts.
You got any cheap boards laying around for iPhone 6?
And everything I have is iCloud locked.
No, I'm talking about the frames.
Oh, the frames.
What I should purchase online.
If we do, we probably ask. Are you asking with everything in them, like battery and everything?
Doesn't
Like
have to be
all the
battery,
parts?
Just the frame, pretty much.
Well,
Got this
like
main-
no power buttons or nothing.
Yeah.
With power button?
Like, do you have any examples? Maybe I can take a look.
Like this one's water damaged, but if we had a frame that had like
Yeah, some
the
like
flexes
that.
and stuff in it,
Yeah,
they're $60.
$60.
But they're in good shape.
Have you ever been here before?
No, that's
No.
not first thing. Let me give you my ID or where you
No, I just need to get your information.
Sure.
First name?
I go by Frank.
Last name?
AKH.
KH.
AKH. The legal name is Farouk. I go by Frank.
Okay.
I'm a two-leg with him, so
Okay.
sometimes I send customers. Not sometimes, I always send customers to him because he's the pro.
Alright, and your telephone number?
270-790-2996.
Last name, address.
3326 Fairhopes, F-A-I-R, or separate one, O-A-K-S. So, Sasha was doing okay at the moment, and then he stopped.
What's that?
Sasha, you know?
Yeah.
He brings some time to one side.
Yeah, every now and then.
He's a good guy, but he's not responsible. So I don't think
That's a side job for him.
You said 55, Chris?
Yes. stream on Twitch.
Alright, it's gonna be $110.
Maybe.
Huh?
Mm-hmm.
If everything goes smoothly, man, you're gonna see me out.
Huh?
We have pretty good results out of them.
There you go, sir.
How do I know that you're gonna use probably?
We can give you a call whenever it does go through. They should send us a message. Otherwise, just keep checking. Put the SIM in and just check and see if it pulls signal. Then it's went through.
Yep.
Okay, you're in codes and all that stuff, or just
No,
There's no codes.
No codes or anything. Yeah, just
It'll send
the
the-
card in and it'll pull signal and it'll be good.
wow.
If it's
Well, those-
if it's not unlocked, it'll say SIM card not supported.
Yeah, that's what it says right now.
Mhm.
So let me check it probably after.
Probably 2 days minimum.
Yeah, I tried 2 days or so. Yeah. Oh, it's okay.
Get the things.
All right, there you are, sir.
Any way you can give me a price list, buddy? I got like usually lots of ones.
Depends on what you're needing.
Can I quick not Samsung ones starting from S4 up to S7?
For unlocks?
Yes, for just unlocks purposes.
Yeah, I can get those. Just shoot me a message with all the ones you need, and then I'll contact the guy and see what I can get.
Okay. And the 6 and 6 Plus is same price for 7 or the cheap?
They vary depending on the service. Just depends on the service and what phone they are.
Okay. Same like
Some of them are
not
more
like-
expensive, some of them are cheaper.
I got you. So you have a board with you right here somewhere?
A
Not
frame?
the board, but the frame. Yes.
I'd have to look. I don't know, Micah. Do you have one?
What model?
6 Plus.
6 Plus.
Yeah.
I don't think I have a 6 Plus hanging out.
That one is still good shape as long as it's not bending.
It's this one.
It's not bent.
I got just a regular 6 over here.
I've got one, Micah. We'd have to take it apart though. If you want to swing by tomorrow, we can take it apart.
$60 you said?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's with the battery and everything in it.
Gotcha. Alright, thank you guys.
All right, man.
I'll
You have a
check
good day.
in 2 days.
Okay, sounds good. All right, so let's see what's going on in chat over here. All right, so the MacBook. Let me roll back up a little bit and answer some questions real fast. It's hard to talk to people when customers are here because I'm trying to hold 2 conversations. Stroke my hands, $10. Yes, I have change. What's up, Kevin? Maybe like straight away promotes the stream. I don't mind you all being here. It's just, and I don't mind fucking around either. But at the same time, sometimes you gotta be serious. I appreciate anybody that watches though. If you learn something off of here, that's the purpose of this. So I hope you all can learn something. Oh, a MacBook Air. MacBook Air. Oops. Dupes. Loops. I don't know what you're saying there. iPad 2 and DFU connects to 3U. Let's see if it charges. Oh, cool. Sweet. Do I have any iPhone 6 for sale unlocked? I do not. Anthony, you asked something else earlier. Let me find it. I missed over it there. What do you do for? Okay, so you were talking about the charging ports. Yeah, on the notes and stuff, we do the charger point only on the Flex without removing it from the frame. So pretty much just take the back glass off, take everything out, fold the cable back as much as we can, slide something under it to protect it from heat, and then low melt solder to remove it. and then solder it back on. Don't have to use hot air, don't have to use anything crazy, and it's good. Bobby, that's good. I'm glad you learned something, man. Alright, so this MacBook, what they were having problems with, if I unplug the battery, so I've got the power disconnected here, I've got the charge cord right here. I'm going to disconnect the battery. So battery's disconnected. If I plug in the battery, so symptoms were, they said the phone or the laptop would boot up if I unplug the battery and then plug in the charger. So I've unplugged the battery, I plugged in the charger, the MacBook boots up. So as you can see, we've got a lit screen, Apple logo, and it loads up to the login screen. But they said after you did that and you shut the computer down, we shut it down, and then if you press the power button, so you all can see, pressing the power button, I'm going to hold it down. I'm pressing it, nothing happens. It won't boot back up. So what could be the cause of that? The power button won't turn it back on after it was just on after we disconnected the battery. So for the computer to turn on, it needs to get a signal from the power button press to say, hey, turn on, hey, turn off, whatever. So what could be the cause? If the power button is not responding after, if you unplug the battery and plug it in, it boots up. But if you turn it off and then try to boot it back up with pressing the power button, it doesn't do anything. So there is a line, which is called SMC on-off reset, that comes from the keyboard. And that line comes in through this flex for the keyboard, and it runs over to these two test pads. One of them goes to the SMC, which is a reset low line. When it goes to ground, it tells the SMC to reset and to turn on. And when the power button is pressed, you have a ground line that shorts the power line to ground. So let's meter these sides. So we have 3.377 volts on this side, and we have ground on this side. Well, if you watch the fan here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to, instead of using the power button itself, I'm going to short those 2 points out with my tweezers. So let's short them out with our tweezers. So when I short them out with the tweezers, it turns the power on. And the reason is, as you can see, the computer is on. The reason is, when this power button is pressed, it's supposed to short those rails to ground to tell the SMC, hey, power button's been pressed, we need to turn off, or we need to turn on. So this is just resetting the battery. It'll boot up. The reason it boots up after you reset the battery is because the SMC is in, the PRAM state is in a weird state, so it automatically will boot the computer. But if we power it off there, and we go in here, and I'm going to press the power button while I meter these pads. So what we should see here, if it's working normally, is the power pad here, the 3.3 volts. This should go almost to ground. I think it gets down to like 0.6 volts or something like that. Something fairly low. So I'm going to ground out my ground probe. I'm going to hold my probe here and press it. It goes 3.378, and when I press the button, it goes to 3.339. So it doesn't pull the line low enough. So that means that our line that should be being pulled down by the keyboard is not being pulled down by the keyboard. So we have an issue. And there's two possibilities there. We can come up here by the SMC and we can look. Is there any corrosion or anything? And we can assess that is there a problem with SMC or is there a possible problem with the keyboard itself. Now it is possible that the SMC can have some corrosion around it, so we want to look around there, and I'm going to go in here and pull up the board view so we can trace this line. I'm going to put this up on the screen for you all. Alright, we should be in that view. We are. Okay. So, we need to look at the other side. And we'll go over here to our reset line. So you see that's SMC on off L, which is low. And this will show us where it goes. Okay, so that goes to U5010. Does it even have a pull-up resistor on it? It should. This line shouldn't go directly to ground. There should be a resistor somewhere. Let's see here. Okay, so looks like there's some resistors on the back side under the board, which it goes to. So let's see here. So R1505, that's on the other side. Okay, so it goes the R5070. Let's see. Okay, so it does have a spot that it goes to on the opposite side of the board. So that's our resistor there, but we know the resistor's working because our line is at 3.42 volts or 3. It's close enough. We know that the actual pull-up resistor is working because our voltage line that feeds those pads is correct. So it can't be the resistor is bad, because if the resistor was bad, this would always read low, and we're reading 3.5, 3.6, or 3.336 volts right now. And when we press the power button, it doesn't drop low enough. This is a A203115.
This is Micah. Yeah, we close at 7.
I'll plug my power in.
Yeah, we got our box for iPhone 6.
Okay, so we'll power off.
Defenders go for
So power button press does
30, I
nothing.
think, and then commuters go for 25. Not a problem. Huh?
Yes, we made it to 1,000 subs.
I can barely hear you. Yeah, he's here today. He's busy at the moment. Not a problem. Bye.
So the line has a pull-up resistor to the 3.42 line. The issue has to be the battery. So, or not the battery, the keyboard. I don't know why I said the battery. So the pull-up pulls up the voltage high, and then when you press the button, it shorts it low. So it tells the SMC that it needs to turn on. So if you look on the resistor here, this is the SMC on-off rail here, and this is the pull-up resistor which pulls it up to the PP3V42 line. So we know our pull-up's working, so it's the keyboard is bad. I'm gonna try, actually, we've already ordered the keyboard, but I want to see if I can gain access to the backside of this power button and test it and see if the button itself is faulty or if it's something in the keyboard. And if it's the button itself, let's see if we can just run some jumpers and see if it will still work. I think it will if the button is not the cause. So I just want to do this for the shit of it. I mean, it doesn't really benefit us at all because we're going to replace this anyway. But just for the shits and giggles, just to see if we can make it work again. I'd be interested to pull this out and see. My suspicion is the actual dome piece inside the button might be bad, and if it is, we should be able to clean it up and make it work again, which would be even better.
That'd be super cool.
Micah thinks it would be super cool, and I agree. How cool would it be, Micah?
I guess okay.
Yeah, just okay.
I need to look underneath my microscope and see what its glasses and that done.
Alright, so let's see if we can just pull this up out of the way. Looks like we're gonna have to end up taking probably have to end up taking all this off to get this up completely out of the way. No, it'd be alright. Alright, so let's take our CD drive out and then we'll have access to the back side of the keyboard there where the power button goes in. We'll have to move our hard drive cable over out of the way. Come on. Got one screw left to take out the CD drive here. It should be free. Okay, so disk drive's out. So access to our power button. Let's switch back over on our views here. Access to our power button is right here. We've got one screw. We can take those out and we can flip the power button back and actually test it. So the power button on the MacBooks, if you don't know, goes through the keyboard. And if the keyboard gets damaged in any way, it can cause the power button not to work, which in turn makes people think that their MacBook is dead or having issues, when in reality it's just the keyboard is faulty. Alright, so let's fold our power button back here and we can do some testing. So there should be, let me see if it's on the back side of the button itself. Okay, so there's the two lines there. Hopefully we can do this without ripping it. We'll just go ahead and pull the button off of the metal bracket here. So we can see the back of it and how it works. So you can see there it's got two separate traces. It's got one that comes off here and it's got one that comes off here. So what happens is there's an outer ring that this button sits on and an inner ring that the signal goes out to. And when you press down on this button, it connects the two together. So let's see if we, since we have this apart now, let's see if we press and get anything different here. Let me open the screen up to see. I don't know if it'll prevent it from booting without that or not. But let's try pressing it and seeing what happens. So we still got no boot. Let's try peeling the membrane off here. And seeing if we can get under the actual button and see if there's something wrong with the... What happens over time is these are an electrical connection, and the connection itself, okay, so I see how it works. It's actually internal to this, it looks like. It's not a traditional button on how these work. Let me meter this and see what happens on that press. Dino was calling me. What up?
Restricted.
You know, doing
Answer
things.
restricted calls?
No.
I do.
Yes.
B&C, how may I help you?
Okay. Later.
No, he's not here at the moment.
I said no. Alright, so let's test this.
Okay, what's it about? I think so. Hold on just a minute, okay? Anything from this week?
No. Why'd you answer?
No, we don't need anything at the moment. Okay. All right. Bye.
I don't understand why you answered it.
Oh, I thought maybe it was someone important.
No, it's never. It's always the same people.
Oh.
You asked, do we answer this? And I said no. And you answered it anyway.
I thought maybe it was someone important.
Okay.
Maybe it's someone you forgot.
No, it's not. Ever. It's always LCD1.
Okay. No, I know. It's always LCD1.
You've answered their phone calls like 4 times.
Yeah, but I didn't think it said restricted. I thought it said unknown or something.
No, it always says restricted.
Okay.
90% of the time it says restricted every time.
It didn't say it every time. Sometimes it says other people.
Yeah, so there's no change when I press the button, so something inside the keyboard itself must be faulty. Because I'm not getting any change testing here. It's a little different design than I thought though, so evidently the button itself only presses directly on the 2 different traces and connects them together that way. I didn't think they connected that way. I figured it was a more traditional push style button. So that's interesting to know. I did not know that. So let's get our button back together here, and we'll wait for our keyboard to come in. Yeah, they always call about the same time. LCD1 does. They're not a bad company. If you want to order screens, they have good screens. It's just I don't want to wait for deliveries from China, and they said that they're keeping stock in the US, but I've not had any problems out of Mobile Centric so far, and their prices are pretty competitive. I think they're about the same. But they are a good company, so if you want refurbished good screens, LCD1 is not a bad company. Alright, so let's put this all back together, get our CD drive and put it back in. Bobby, who are you talking about? Alright, so let's put our screws back in for the CD drive, and we will patiently wait for our delivery. Should be here tomorrow, I think, for the keyboard. I'm starting to get a headache too. I have to take some medicine here. Medusan, a customer. Everybody has customers, I think, like that though. Like we have paranoid customers and just weird people in general.
I don't want to give you my password.
Yeah, I love the people that won't let us have their password. Like we're gonna scrounge through their information and steal it.
Look at naked me.
Evidently, people think that all we're out to do is look at their nudes.
And sell them on the black market.
Look at their dick pics. Yeah, to sell on the black market. Okay, so thank you for watching. I appreciate it. We seem to have quite a few people that watch from the UK.
People from the UK have a better thirst and knowledge than the Americans.
Hasta luego, mon ami. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Arrivederci. I speak the best Italian. I don't know if I can see your nudes and dick pics, Big Black Dick Joe. On the black market? I don't know. Can they really be seen on one photo? That's the question you have to ask yourself.
3 photos long.
Does it take at least 3 photos, or can they actually be seen on one
That's
photo?
in 4K resolution too.
4K and it takes 3 photos? What is that, 16K? No, it's 12. What resolution is that, though?
I don't know. I don't know what 4,000 dpi pixels, 4,000.
I know, but would it be like just long, though? Would it be like a...
Vertical.
Or would it be vertical? So it'd be like a...
Floor displays going
It'd be
down.
like a 21 by... fucking... 21 by 27 aspect ratio.
The girth of a Coke can all the way down to.
I'm pretty sure if Big Black Joe said it's in 3D. Joe, I'm pretty sure if you got hard, buddy, you'd pass out if your dick was that big. All the blood would rush from your head.
It's heart circulation system going through there.
Your dick has its own heart, so it doesn't die.
It's like a second fuel pump.
Matrix display.
It's called
Through a
evolution.
microscope, snicker. Amy's dropping jokes. I don't like to go to the bathroom because it's really heavy to carry my microscope all the way back there.
I can't see where I'm aiming. Oh well.
So the keyboard on this one is obviously bad. I'm not sure how those traces are made. I'm pretty sure like it's a printed conductive ink almost on these, on the keyboards on the Macs. So I might grab one here in the back though and look at it and see how it works. It's always interested me how they make their keyboards. Other than the fact that they use 17 million screws to hold them together.
Billions of screws or rivets.
Pop my nick there. So with iPad 2 permanent DFU mode, is the current NAND have to be readable in order to program the new NAND? Yes. Current NAND has to be read. Well, no, it doesn't. iPad 2, you can just swap the NANDs on them. I lied to you, I'm sorry. iPad Wi-Fi models, you don't have to know the serial number at all. Return of the Mac. Alright, so we got ourselves a MacBook keyboard that has water damage, that is a parts board. Was limping for 3 days. I don't think YouTube would let you stream that, to be honest. I don't think they'd let you stream your big black dick.
If it's for medical reasons, yes, it would.
Medical reasons only, yeah.
They need the medical data because of his second heart.
Oh, we can do a little impromptu. Look at there, we got a bug. What is this?
What?
There's a bug in this one. It looks like a beetle.
It's a roach.
It's not a roach, it's a beetle.
Roach.
It's like a beetle. Look at it. It's like, hey guys, I'm a small animal. Let's look at him under the microscope. Let's get in real close on him. Look at his little
He's
legs.
over here playing with roaches.
Look at his legs. It's like, hey man.
Well, I guess that isn't a roach.
No, it's not a roach at all. Look at his little antenna.
I don't know. It looks like one under the microscope.
It's not though. Look at his back.
I can't see his back. Threw him out of the way.
I threw him down. I was like, get out of my face, you son of a bitch. Come on out here, bro.
It's a large bed bug.
It's a very large bed bug. I don't know what it is. I don't want to crush him either. I mean, he's already dead, but I don't want to make him more dead. Look at his mouth. He was foaming.
I can't.
Foaming from the mouth.
Focused on that.
Mikey, you don't tell me what it's focused on.
It's not focused there, Chris. There we go.
Look at him.
Poke him in the eye.
Poke him in the
Poke
eye.
him in the eye.
Let's take his legs off.
See if he's got continuity.
Do you have continuity? Let's see. Let's see if he has continuity across his body. Nope. No continuity across your body. What about your eyeballs?
No.
Your antenna have continuity?
Beep. Yeah.
Beep beep. How about your wings?
No.
No. Alright, well. What the fuck is it? I don't know. It's a bug. It's a dead bug. Dead bed bug. I don't know. It looks like a beetle of some sort. It's got a beetle's back.
Yeah, it's got a beetle's back. Some kind of beetle.
We can dissect him though. His eyes look cool. I can see the little like pits in his eyes.
Each individual little different little things that they have there.
He's a short circuit. Alright, we're gonna take his leg off here. Damn, it's harder than I thought. There we go. Legs off. Let's cut his other legs off. This bug is dead, by the way, so no, I'm not mutilating animals. Oh, his head popped off.
Oh, Chris, you killed it!
His head popped off.
Come on, sweetie bird. Tweet, tweet.
What's his insides look like? If
I don't know.
if Lewis was watching this, he'd probably be gagging right now.
Oh, it's like, it's already like decomposed.
It's all dried up.
Oh,
Look at it. It's just like fibers.
oh.
That's one dead bug, boys.
Oh.
Alright, let's clean up our buddy. Come on, bro. You gots to go. All of your body parts and everything. I don't know. We got Acetone to clean it up. Acetone time. The Yeti is on stream. Yes, he is. Get some acetone in here to clean this mess up. Men in Black Extra. Your girl's about to throw up. Well, how do you think the bug felt? He was already dead. Alright, so what I was going to say is we need to do a little tutorial. Let me see if I can tell which side is which on these. Alright, so tutorial on how to replace the MacBook key. So they have a pop on one side. Let's see if I can pop it free and then slide it off. Come out of there, you bitch. Alright, so on these keyboards they have a scissor piece here. No, it's not focused, just too bright. So they have a cross piece here that is the piece that keeps it in place and allows it to press straight down. And then they have this dimple that presses in, aka the nipple.
Underneath that little black dome piece, isn't it? Or is it just that
So,
nipple?
no, it's just that. So to put these on, what you're going to do is one side, if you look on here, it slides under and locks under it. And then the other side, it clips into it. So we need to start on this side, press it down and forward. Okay, so it's under the latches. I can't pull this up. It's latched under there. And then once you're under, you press the other side down and let go. And that's how you replace the keys on. It's fairly easy. But just a little hint if you've never done one.
A little tip, just a tip.
Just a tip. Just a little tip. Alright, so I want to meter this power cable, and I want to see how it fucking works. Chances are this one doesn't work either. But I'm going to find out. Let's see. Need to trace where this line goes. So it runs across here. Keeps running across. It's hard to tell. Let me take this top row off real quick.
PNC, how may I help you? We close 7. No problem, bye.
Alright, I'm gonna have to unhook the buttons here so I can see where this goes. Okay, so it's like a multi-layered piece, like the actual circuit board is. Let's see if I can separate these layers. So I'm actually going to snip it out of the keyboard. So we can test this, because I'm interested how it works. I want to know. Alright, so this is our cutout piece. I'm going to take my razor blade, see if I can scrape down through this plastic layer and get into the meat of this thing. Okay, looks like we've gotten through it. Okay, so yeah, looks like there's 2 lines there. I've cut through one of them. Or maybe it's just one printed line. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell.
PNC, how may I help you? Hello?
No, it's 2 separate lines. They're stacked. So there's one here and there's one here.
Hello?
Let's see if this is conductive. It has to be. Has to be like a conductive paste or something, or trace or something like that. No, there's no. Well, yeah, there we go. So there's conductivity through those. Yeah, so that's like a conductive printed trace that runs through there, and they're stacked on top of each other, so there's one trace on top of the other. I'm interested though as to how the button up here works. Are they just separated and then it pushes them together? So see the trace coming in here and the trace here? Is it just pressing these 2 together? Is that all it's doing? Let's see if we can measure the input-output between the 2. That's what it seems like it's doing, but that's crazy that there's natural some type of natural tension that keeps those two apart. I would think that they would wear out to the point where they just stayed touching together constantly, not separated completely. Let's see. I'm going to try to zoom in as close as I can get so I don't go through this. Alright, I'm through the... I think I'm through the top layer there. Let me check. Okay, now let's scrape down to the other one. Okay. Okay, so those are separate right now. Let me press on this. Yep, that's all it is. So the natural separation between the two layers here, it just takes a very slight amount of pressure. And it just connects those two faces together inside the keyboard. Huh. That's pretty interesting. So technically, I guess you could connect these, but the question becomes, what do you solder to? Let me see if this will solder to anything or not, or it just melts. I'm going to do this by adding some solder to my leads. I'm going to turn their temperature down to start with, so we're not so extremely high. Let's see if this will take to anything here. Yeah, so you can't solder to that, it just disintegrates. So it's like a conductive, almost like paste. Yeah, you can't solder to that at all. He killed chat. Yeah, he has a way of killing chat sometimes. This part is ground? No, it's not ground. There's nothing to ground it to. The ground signal actually comes through the keyboard. So this line here coming in on the top side is actually separate from the output going out. So the ground actually comes from inside the keyboard. So there's no way really to repair those. There's no yeah, it's like a carbon film almost. There's no way to solder to it, it just melts. I'm going to pull up a schematic real quick. Or actually, I'll just open that board view back up. Oh, neck. Hurting. Let's see where that line comes through the keyboard itself. That way I can kind of have an idea what's going on there. So it says it comes through. So pin 5, it comes through on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So which one is pin 5 on this fucker? This may not even be the same one. This looks like it's a different model. So this one here.
Hey there. I'm back.
Okay.
Please fix this.
What's wrong with it?
Well, I can't talk on it unless it's on speaker because it's saying that.
Oh, it's stuck on headphones.
Yeah.
It's stuck on there.
I don't know what in the world. It just. Don't you have an iPhone 7 yet that I can buy?
Mm-mm.
No.
6?
No, we just sold our. We had a 6S Plus, but we just sold
I
it.
don't want any pluses. Can you find me?
When did it start doing it?
Just today.
Just today?
Yeah.
Have you tried restarting the phone?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's see. Sometimes they can get stuck in headphone mode.
I put something back in there and tried taking it out and putting it back in. And that wouldn't. I'm like, this phone is going to be the death of me.
All those cables are going to be the death for Chris.
Yeah.
Is that a water damage one?
I don't remember.
Oh, it wasn't? Okay.
No.
Well, it's got water in it now.
What?
Oh, yeah. You go swimming?
We were at the lake, but I didn't know that water got in it.
Yeah, it's had water in it.
That'd be why.
Then explain why it's doing weird stuff.
Great. That's because Henry.
What do you do?
He had it.
What do you do?
Well, he sat on it, but I thought I had it dried off, but
I mean, not he was dried off.
You just disconnect the battery and see what it's
Just get it a
doing.
6. If you get a 6 plus, we can change. Because I want a 6 plus.
I just gonna find a 7 and buy a 7. I'm not gonna buy it from the AT&T store though.
Can you give me a 6 better? Micah?
Huh?
Here, Mike. Okay.
Yeah. Make sure.
Just test it with my leads. Test it with my leads.
That's the one that was getting hot, but
When?
when you fixed it last,
Yeah, it had a short on the board, didn't it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Will water make it get hot?
It can.
Depends if it shorts something out.
Yeah, if it's shorting something out, it'll definitely cause some weird problems.
I can't. You know the part they go through. Went to that and walked through it.
Stop talking.
You need water protectors. That's why I kind of left one in the car. You know those 7 cases, the libraries are better. They don't got all the stuff.
You have anybody you buy phones from and you can get one?
There's a guy in Glasgow we buy them from, but I don't know what kind of prices he's gonna have. He tends to be a little higher than I normally price them at. You grab a battery now.
Battery?
Yeah, 6.
Fry the battery?
Yeah, I may have.
Oh my gosh, 2 minutes.
There you go. BNC, let me help you. No, this is Micah. Okay, alright. We should still be here. Alright. Bye.
Who's that?
Guy that's wanting to get an auto box from me. So he's like 2 minutes away. Hold up.
Was it Dino?
Huh?
Was it Dino?
Is it blue now?
Dino.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
I think it is Dino. I think that's who they said it was.
What's the passcode?
1208.
Well, it recognizes when the headphones are in and out now. Let's see if the battery's still good or not. Interested. Let's see. It says battery's okay. So should be alright. Let's see if this audio works now. Get that stupid tape out of here.
What does that do?
The water ate the back of the battery connector cover off,
Oh.
so that keeps them from shorting out on the cover. It's supposed to have this foam that goes across the back of it, but usually liquid will make it kind of disintegrate.
How much you think a 7 would be from that other guy?
Probably over $500, I would
Really?
suspect. Yep. His 6S cost is $400, so I would be shocked if the 7 was any cheaper. Alright. There you go.
How much?
Have a good one.
Here, I'll pay you something.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
No problem.
Come on.
You have a good one. Let's see.
I think this guy's coming here that wanted to buy the case. It wasn't demon. Unless there's another demon. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
What's up, man? I don't want to talk to you on the phone. What's up, Chris?
Not much, man.
You working hard?
Always.
Always. Man, I need me a case for iPhone 6. That's whatever that is. I need an out of box.
Got plenty over there.
What?
Right there to your side.
Right here?
Yep. Let's see.
Is that a black one?
Whatever's
they're
out there, I don't know.
Behind each other, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we do get a solid black one though. We might.
Kenneth, calm down. Kenneth Noisewater.
Kind of knows.
Where did the SIM card come on?
Oh, can I?
Get out of the way then. She needs to stop standing behind
You
things.
got some kind of protection
Go.
for this screen.
Screen protectors?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Yep.
got them out there. They're $10.
$10.
Yep.
Talking about the glass.
Yep.
Huh? Yeah. Should be
If
the
you
black-
buy- if you
black
buy 'em-
boxes.
Which OtterBox you getting?
That one.
It's got a built-in screen protector.
Yeah, it's got a
Plastic
a plastic one. Unless you want a glass one. No? Okay. We'll get you.
Put it. Can I put this in?
Yeah.
She's laying right behind you again.
Chris.
Yep.
My son, man, been messing with me, try to get him some kind of computer, but he wanted like a computer that's got a lot of memory. Like he play a bunch of games.
What kind of games is the question?
I don't know. Like tell me it's good. He wanted some-
If he's wanting a gaming computer, it's a little different than just a regular computer because they're gonna have like a dedicated graphics card and stuff. They tend to be pretty expensive too.
Really?
Yeah.
It's gonna be $26.50.
You can put that on the phone.
Yeah, I'll put it on
Just find out what games he plays, and then I can
Well, I
tell
don't know.
you.
He played some kind of game, and he been bugging me, and I was like, I was about to go buy him a new one, but I was like, maybe Chris got something.
I mean, it just depends on the games. I mean, we got some that are run general games, but nothing crazy.
Hold on, let me call him real quick, and you
Okay.
can ask him. I can ask him what.
Yeah, just ask him what type of games he's wanting to play, and that'll give me an idea of what he needs.
Hey,
Oh, he's on the phone.
hey,
You're gonna take it.
what kind of computer was you telling me
Okay.
you want? What kind of games do you play on your computer? Okay, explain this guy. What was you telling me? Maybe he got something.
Philip, what kind of games are you wanting to play on it?
There's your receipt.
You want
No.
Okay, so you're gonna need something with a decent GPU then. I don't think we have anything that would fit that, but I can talk to him and see what exactly would be in the price range that would play some of that stuff. But I don't think I have anything that would support it right now. But I'll let your dad know and we can figure out what we got. All right, no problem.
You can hang up. What do you say?
He wants to play like Grand Theft Auto 5 and stuff, so those require you got to take it out of the case, bro.
Oh,
So what?
He would need something that's going to have a decent graphics card in it, and we don't have any laptops like that. Honestly, a laptop's going to be more expensive to find something than a desktop will be.
So we probably get a desk.
Yeah, a desktop with at least like probably like a GTX 980 would be fine. A computer like that, you're probably looking at $400 to $600 range.
That's what he was asking me. He wanted like a $500-600.
Yeah.
500 is about mid range.
I was like, are you crazy,
Game
man? You
PC.
need this for school. He's a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sure you don't need it. You got a computer. You want to play a game? I was like, I ain't gonna spend that much money. I can't spend that much money on
Yeah,
this.
that's about the range you're going to spend for something that's probably like 3 years old. And that'll
throw away
play.
this?
That'll play it. Yeah, I thought away. That'll play that game that he wants, but
You don't need that? Okay.
yeah, to play it properly, it'll need that at least. I mean, he can play it with a crappier computer, but it may not
If
run
you
well.
run up on something like that, whatever, you got my number.
Okay, I'll give you a shout. And we
I
don't
don't
see
think-
gaming computers much, to be honest.
For real.
Yeah, it's rare. I think we've seen one in the year that we've been here.
Joey could sell a bowl.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate it, man.
All right, man.
Thank you,
No
man.
problem. Have a good one.
See you, man.
See you, man. I think
Tell the kid to get a drum. Yeah, pretty much. I don't know.
kids like to play games.
Kids like to play games, man.
Kids like to play games.
Some people don't
That's same
understand how much
price as
stuff costs, though.
$500. That's about mid grade.
Yeah, I mean, you could get a decent computer for that. Joey's old computer might play that.
It would. Well, I mean, with the graphics card in it, it would.
Well, he's got one in there. It's an
Oh,
older
yes.
one.
Oh, well then, yeah, it'd probably play it. See if Joey wants to sell it to the kid. Joey's got that fancy one. I don't even know if he uses it.
I don't think he does, to be honest. He put fucking, what, $2,000 in that computer and doesn't even use it.
Could go for half the price if you move on with the AMD chipsets.
Mid-range. Getting PC option discussions. I just tell people $1,500 for gaming. 500 would be...
1500 be high end.
Yeah, 1,500 is high end. $500 you could get like a...
You can get a decent machine.
A third generation...
That'll run current gen.
Yeah, you could get like a third gen i7 or i5.
Settings, maybe high settings,
Oh yeah, well, maybe not even high. It'll be on some settings.
it'll run it though.
It will run it. But you would need like a GTX 980 if you wanted to run it at anything considerable.
Mine's pretty old. Mine's like 8 years old, and it'll run current gen at turtle speeds.
Yeah, turtle speeds. Alright, so I don't think we really have anything else. $1,500 for gaming is cheap. No, it's not.
No.
$1,500, you can build a nice system. Now, I mean, if you're counting all your peripherals and stuff, maybe that you could lose some money there, but $1,500 is fairly cheap.
Like, that's like going with like the latest thing.
Or fairly
that
expensive,
day.
actually.
Newest greatest thing.
Yeah,
that
if you bought like a
literally the next week you buy
if you
all
bought
that
like
shit, it's gonna be outdated.
if you bought like a Core i7 60 whatever 900K series
Well, now
for
they get the new AM
$1,000
You
maybe.
get the new AMDs that are just as good for like a fraction of the
2,500 to 4,000? No.
cost. Fuck that.
If you bought a Ryzen chip right now, that's $500, and you bought a motherboard, they're usually for an okay $100 or so. If you bought one with just a single X16 PCIe slot for just the graphics card, probably $100. So that's about $600. GTX 1070 runs about $300. So you're looking right at what? You're at $900. Some RAM, maybe another $100.
Yeah, RAM's not expensive anymore.
It wouldn't even be that
It
expensive.
used to be back in the early 2000s.
Maybe if you went DDR5 or DDR4, but if you went with a DDR3 system, well, the Ryzen probably uses DDR4, so say $100.
Back in the early 2000s, when there was DDR2, I paid at least $500 for 2 gigs of RAM.
We've triggered them. No, not triggered. I'm going through it though. Like, so with the Ryzen chipset, RAM, and motherboard and graphics card.
Maybe $1,000.
No, you'd need a power supply and a case still. You're right at 1,000 with all that. And then you need a power supply and case.
Power supply and case, yeah.
Power supply is another $100 for a decent one, and then a case maybe another $80. So maybe like $1,100 range, you could have a decent computer. Yeah, hard drive. So, I mean, but you can buy solid states for cheap now. $70 for 240 gig if you just wanted some space.
Yeah, it was, what is it, 200?
200 for 500 gig SSD.
Well, I mean, that's for an Evo though.
Yeah. I paid $140 for that Western Digital SSD, 500 gig.
Yeah. See, that's not too bad.
So that puts us up around $1,300, and then a self-contained water cool system. You can buy them for $100 and some dollars. Yeah, but you can buy the ones made for the CPU like Joey did. I think it was $140 for the pre-made all-in-one system. So under $1,500 bucks. Yeah, $1,500 you could build. Unless you did like a GTX 1080, but you'll spend an extra $200 on it. You paid $40 for 120. Yeah, I mean it's cheap. That's what we're saying. We're not talking about peripherals. We're just talking about building the system. I mean, if you're talking about a fucking like ultra gaming monitor, of course you're gonna spend more. But if you're talking just building the system, $1,500, you could build a crazy ass system. You can play everything pretty much on high or ultra settings with that system. Yeah. The graphics card really is the main thing. A lot of games aren't CPU intensive, so you could honestly run with like a fucking first or second generation i7 and be fine. as long as it's fast enough. But anyway, Chris, I have iPhone 6s Plus with a short on SoC. Pulls 0.42 milliamps. I think I tried to pull the shields back. How did you kill it trying to put the shields back on? Did you have power going through it while you put the shields on? Most of the time, the SoC lines don't get shorted unless you get like a solder bridge or you get it too hot. Well, Paul Daniels said 1500 to build. That's pretty much a top-of-the-line system. If you built like a GTX 980 with like a 3rd or 4th gen Core i5 or i7, I mean, you could probably build that computer. You could probably buy one for $500. A 49-inch QLED gaming monitor for $1,500. Or you can get the new Sony ultra wide screen. Honestly, for me, I mean, I know some gaming nut's gonna be like, you're fucking stupid, but I would much rather just hook my fucking gaming computer up to a 4K 55-inch television that I paid $800 for versus spending $1,500 for a fucking monitor that's smaller. But I know the refresh rate's not fucking as fast, but honestly, a few milliseconds for me doesn't really make or break my fucking gaming experience. I mean, 60 hertz is plenty. I'm not gaming it. I mean, honestly, what VSync... I think VSync limits the speed to 60 hertz anyway, so if you run with VSync on it, it doesn't really fucking matter. The refresh rate is what everybody complains about. So it's the time that the pixels actually take to change between refresh. Like mine has a 1 millisecond refresh time. Your monitor has a 5 millisecond refresh time. That's totally gonna ruin your experience. Yes, Pepsi. With a straw. If it's still short with all the inductors and caps removed, then you've got a short under your chip. And the only way to fix it is to remove it and reball it. So you need to remove PMIC, all the caps, and the filter, and make sure it's everything except the CPU first. Yeah, it really is audiophile madness, I agree. I mean, fucking... I get it. There's fucking, like, precision video and precision audio stuff that I'm sure sound fucking awesome, but for me, I'm the general user, I really don't give a shit. Headshot waiting on refresh. I almost feel like when people talk about refresh rates, they're like, it's almost like they think in their mind that, like, exactly that, like you take a shot on a game and then all of a sudden, like, 10 seconds later you finally see it. It's not like that. Yeah, that's true. Glass bottle is the way to go for Coke or Pepsi. Let's see, what is the refresh rate on my TV? We'll do a little quick comparison here. So I've got a Samsung, if I can spell. What the fuck is it? I think it's a KN series? No. Oh, it's a 55-inch 4K curved with quantum dot. It's KS, that's what it is. KS 8500 series, I think. Or is it the UN? No, it's a KS series, I think. Yeah, it's gotta be KS. Let me see. Is this it? Yeah, that's it. So that's the one I've got. Let's see what the specs are on it. So we want a KS8500. Refresh rate. I didn't pay that much for my TV either. I paid much less than that. I bought it direct from Samsung. So it's 120 hertz. Does it actually give a millisecond though? That's the thing. Peak brightness ratings, viewing angles, color shifts, black levels. Should have got the 65. My room doesn't need a 65. I wouldn't need it. Motion blur. There we go. Response time. So it's 15 milliseconds response time. A gaming one is like fucking 1 millisecond. Let's see. So 2 and 1 millisecond up to 5 milliseconds on gaming monitors. So that's your difference. I mean, it's fucking 10 milliseconds. So, I mean, if 10 milliseconds really makes a fucking difference, then whatever. Overall, though, I really like the TV. It's really nice. So there you go. Input lag, 23 milliseconds. .4K, it's 60 hertz with HDR, 19 millisecond response time. I don't understand. Outside, without game mode on, it's 123 milliseconds. With game mode on, it's 19 to 20.
What is that?
My TV.
Oh.
Sound quality. Yeah, the speakers in that fucking thing suck. I don't use the internal speakers anyway, though. It's really cool TV. If you ever want to get one, I highly recommend them. They're a lot cheaper now than what was listed earlier. But yeah, so for me, a 55-inch, like these TVs got as cheap as $800 or $700. I bought mine at $1,100. They broke it and then gave me a refund, and then I rebought it at $1,000, and then a week later it dropped to 800 and something, and then a week later it dropped to like 759 or 49, and then they took it off sale and put it back up at $1,500. So but anyway, I am gonna go home
Rub one out.
and rub one out with Micah's mother. Oh, Micah's mother. But thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully some of it was entertaining and some of it wasn't terribly bad to watch. Micah loves everybody in stream,
I do love everyone.
even Joe with his big black dick.
Kisses.
We can see you, Micah.
Can you?
We can right there. We can see you.
Good.
But I'll see you all later. Now it's time for Paul Daniels to stream because we know he has a bunch of informational stuff that he wants to share. He has to continue his build on the battery tester. And I'm going to go home and eat some leftovers. Delicious, delicious leftovers.
Ew.
Bye.